All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. First off, I would like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises unto our power, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha HaKodash, and double honors to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone that teach and rule well. Peace, love, salutations to the hopeful elect stone with 144,000, the rest of 1/3. Shalom, I'm the brother Ha'amayan from the Great Millstone, Columbia, Georgia Church, and Aparatazadis be an edifying lesson to the Lord, sincere sheep and believers, and also to myself, because this applies to me too. Through the Spirit, just redoing a lesson that I did this morning. It says, I titled it Vigilant, Circumspect, and Head on the Swivel. You know, and I got the definition for this word vigilant. And it says, watchful, anxious, careful, to watch, keep awake, not to sleep, be watchful, awake, man. So being alert, watching yourself, watching your surroundings, being alert, man. Watching what you say, watching, like taking heed, considering, like literally, you know, through the Spirit, man. Because we don't want to be getting offended at the Spirit, man. You know, we don't want to be making the wrong move and pissing the Lord off, you know, just saying it straight up, man, you know. So you want to take heed and don't look at things like this don't apply to you. Still consider, you know, because the shoe fit at times, and it's supposed to be like that because we got work to do and we can grow, you know. But nevertheless, I want to get this in 1 Peter 5 and 8. It says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour, man. You know, we got to be Clark Kent and being alert out here, man. You know, being on point, because at any time, it's all type of events that's about to take place. It's a lot that's already going on, and it's only gonna intensify. You know, it's only gonna increase, man. And we know this. That's why the scriptures say, let's grab it real quick. Ecclesiastes chapter 39, verse 1, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies. You know, so knowing that we're looking out for the signs and watching for the prophecies, the ones that haven't took place yet, guess what? With inside of waiting, we supposed to be being vigilant, being circumspect, being on point, man. This is not a joke. This is not a game, man. I'm saying this to myself as a young man in this truth, young brother, you know, a babe, you know, yeah, man, just be on point. You know, watch what you're doing, watch what you're saying, watch who you're being around, you know. And also, just to tie in too, a beautiful lesson. I don't know the brother Hebrew name, but he made a lesson this morning, an hour or two ago, about making on your videos, you know, with your work uniform on and your names and things like that. That the shoe fit, because I have made lessons. I don't have my name on my uniform, but it's the fact that, you know, you don't want to jeopardize your livelihood, man. You know, and give this DEVIL ammunition, and then, you know, your boss man done fired you because you wasn't using wisdom. That's another reason to be vigilant, be on point, be circumspect, and that's beautiful. So I the water Yahweh Shai for that edification, because the Lord speak through His men, you know, exhorting brothers to, you know, be on point, man. And that's just the Spirit. You make sincere mistakes, but the scriptures speak about what a man of understanding knoweth when he's slipping, you know. But to get back to the lesson, I also typed in Google head on the swivel meaning. It says to be constantly alert and aware of your surroundings, staying watchful and cautious. And that's one way to be on point too. Like, nah, that ain't a wise move to do it like that, you know. Like, nah, I need to stop doing that, or I don't need to do this at all, you know. Because we see what's about to happen, and a lot of people who are not being sincere, they're giving Esau, Edom ammunition to come down. We know the scriptures speak about Revelation 12:12. Matter of fact, I'll grab it real quick. And I got some precepts listed. Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. It says, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. And we know this, man. So what we ought to be doing? Preparing, man. Crying out to Yahweh Shema Shai, getting our house in order, man. You know, you being that house, that spiritual house, man. You know, getting your spirit right. You know, praying, being brotherly, being on point, being sincere to the best of your ability, applying the scriptures. You know, like the head brother of our church, our camp down in Columbus, the head brother Ira always say that, man, through the spirit. And he ain't lying, because that's what the scriptures say. You know, be sincere. Going back into the definition, it says to be constantly alert and aware of your surroundings, stand watchful and cautious. It says it's a figurative way of describing someone who is paying close attention. Shalakia. It says who is paying close attention to everything around them, as if their head is physically rotating to look in all directions. The phrase is often used in situations where there might be potential danger or unexpected events, emphasizing the need to be observant and prepared, man. You know, and that is right, man. That's absolutely right, because danger is coming. Bad times are coming. Evils are coming. So we don't want to, you know, be pissing the Lord off and ultimately getting offended. You know, like, we don't want to be in that spirit at all. You know, 2 Peter. Let's get 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in our holy conversation and godliness, man? You know, so let's get some edification on this word, because there's some people that don't know. I was taught this, so, you know, through the spirit, we got to edify.
Strong's G391. Anastrafe.
And the scrophe, it said manner of life, conduct, behavior, man. Being on point, growing, getting better, practicing more discipline, pacing yourself, enduring, you know, and watching, you know, and not you know, making excuses, man. You know, but actually trying to change and grow, you know. Because we want to be ready, man, at the end of the day, spiritually prepared. I close out with Colossians, the book of Colossians, chapter 4, starting at 5. And it says, walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the times. Salaki. Salakia about that, forgive me. Colossians chapter 4, excuse me. Walk in wisdom toward, Colossians 4 and 5. Walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the times, man. Redeeming the times, man. I don't think I ever brought out Ephesians. Salakia. Ephesians chapter 5. Yep. Verse 14. Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead. That spiritual dead state of mind, being docile, not quickened, not made alive, not having the Rachakodash, and Hamashiach shall give thee light, you know, because now you know. So now you got to apply what you know, gird up, prepare, pace yourself, you know, and being sincere, being honest, taking this truth serious, because we can we can lose our life. You know, something can happen to you. You know, some of us gonna have to be martyrs, being persecuted, being on the run. Like, all of these things are about to come to pass, man. And we want to be spiritually girded up, man, rooted and grounded through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah. That's why it's high time to wake up out of sleep. Be vigilant, be circumspect, keep your head on the swivel. Saying this to myself. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. You know, we want to walk after the spirit, man. We want to, you know, be pleasing Yahweh Shema Shah and asking Yahweh Shema Shah to guide us in a way that's pleasing unto Him, to the best of our ability. Redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Bad times are coming, man. It's gonna be like a madman sparing none. You know, so we want to be as sincere as possible to the best of our ability, man. You know, you mess up, hey, get it right. You know, scripture do speak about just man fall 7 times but get back up. You know, the wicked fall into mischief, but we want to, you know, walk that straight gate, and inside of that straight gate, we want to grow. Like, okay, I no longer do those things no more. Let me work on what I'm weak at now, you know, and just keep fighting, keep trying to the best of our ability, man. You know, so I go back into Colossians chapter 4, verse 6. It says, let your speech always be with grace. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that you may know how you ought to answer every man. And that's why listening is important too. Scripture speak about, matter of fact, as in I know James speak about that, be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. But I think it's in Sirach chapter 5, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Sirach, Ecclesiastes, also known as Sirach chapter 5, verse 11. It says, be swift to hear, and let thy life be sincere, and with patience give answer. You know? So we want to be as sincere as possible, man. Be swift to hear. You know? Because we are behind enemy lines, man. We gotta watch what we doing. Watch who we're around. You know, the spirit came out last night on our Thursday live that we do weekly through the spirit and power. How about Shema Shai? And brother, the head brother brought that out in 1 Thessalonians 5. You know, matter of fact, I close out with that through the spirit. First Thessalonians 5, verse 1, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. That's why I brought out of 2 Peter 3 and 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought you to be in our holy conversation and godliness, man? See, we know it's about to happen, so we got to apply. We got to apply. We got to gird up even more. We got to be more in fear. We definitely got to have that fear and faith, you know? For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Because they weren't on their watch. They weren't being vigilant. They weren't being circumspect. They had one on the swivel. You know, they weren't given the mysteries. They don't know the secrets. You know, or they got disenchanted and got offended and didn't want to continue, you know, to the end. They want to endure to the end, you know. But ye brethren are not in darkness, that they should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober, man. You know, being on point, watching, man, for these prophecies, man. We're waiting on the return of Hamashiach Yahushua. And a lot got to go down, man, you know. So with that being said, Aparatazai, it was an edifying lesson to the Lord, sincere sheep and believers. I would like to close out by giving all glory, honor, and infinite praises unto our power, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Racha HaKodash, and double honors to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone and teacher rule well. Peace, love, salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.